Have we decided who's doing the honors of reading the voice?
I feel like we should take turns.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right. It's gonna get spicy, maybe. I don't know. We're gonna be making jokes.
We should just have Danimal do it all because we know he's gonna be the funniest.
No.
Hey, don't underestimate Tenny's voices.
That's true. Tenny does good voices.
I really want to hear a Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh,
at least one.
Posthumous.
R.I.P.
Oh shit! R.I.P.
He's down there in Jewish heaven.
Heaven.
Hello everyone. It's another episode of Three Homos and a Pussy, and we have a full panel today, including a special guest, Amazil, who's been on the show before for furry nonsense, especially.
Yes.
But actually, this is another topic of your expertise, a little bit, because we are covering mainly one comic, but a couple webcomics that are of special interest. So if you don't know, Amazil on his YouTube channel does webcomic readings, and myself and Danimal have participated in a number of those recordings. So I'll definitely link Amazil's channel in the description. What is our experience with webcomics in general?
Like hours together?
Well, I get forced to read them every Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, one of the main things with this show, and why I think it's why this is going to be on your channel than mine, is that I for one like to read good comics. I like to show like the good stuff that the medium has to offer, because there's a lot of fucking memes and bad trash that people can point to if they want to, as we'll clearly see, as we're about to see.
Are you trying to suggest that this comic we're about to read is not in fact good?
I'm saying that the law of average dictates that when there is a high amount of webcomics anyone can make of any quality with no like gatekeeping or quality control, then some of them may not always be the best.
But this one is.
It's just simple science or mathematics.
Yeah, this one is pretty infamous, though. I remember hearing about it back in Tumblr days. And in fact, the site we're on right now is a Tumblr organized page.
Another point of interest for me.
I wonder how it got to be as popular as it did.
My assumptions is for one, the fact that it is well, before we even say that, what is the comic that we're reading?
This first one we're going to look at, and going to be probably where we spend most of our time, is called Assigned Mail. It is
see, there's the kicker.
Yes, this is a comic by Sophie Labelle. Now, you're probably used to comics being, funny, entertaining, pleasant to read.
Good.
Any of those things. This is not that.
This is none of those things, and more. Or less.
This is what we kind of see as this pattern of LGBT comics, where they aren't really there to be good. They're just there to tell you things.
They're there to send a message, then tell you a joke.
They will make assertions, and then they will move on, as if the fact of putting it on a comics page makes it true. So this is all very scientific, as you can.
Classic blobfish behavior.
Yeah.
Yes,
is my opinion.
You were asking like how this could be like popular, or how it would. Simple, right in the title, Assigned Mail. Like, you just pander and then it will flow, especially on Tumblr. It's easy to carve a niche, and especially if you're talking about stuff that people like or that they're interested in. Like, it doesn't matter if it's funny. It doesn't matter if necessarily funny or there's an actual joke. It's more that you're saying the right things, and that's great.
Identity pandering.
Would you consider webcomics America's manga?
American what?
America's manga.
I don't know what that means.
Is
Would
this
you-
Mecha.
It's our big export.
Manga.
It's our big export.
Sophie
Well, I would
Labelle
say that
Cultural.
if anything,
manga
it's Sunday
Cultural.
Comics. Sunday Funnies
Cultural export.
is American manga.
No,
then.
you know what's good manga is that Mpreg manga that someone just sent me. That's
that they made the Netflix series
right now?
Yeah, and I read the
Well, you
first
can't-
chapter. It's amazing.
That's why Khav sounds very
Every
relaxed.
time they have sex, they have a 10% chance of getting pregnant.
Oh, baby.
I think
Those are good odds.
I think men would probably stop having sex.
You think?
Although, you know what? I've heard a man with a cold knows kind of what it's like, or well, a woman would know kind of what it's like to give birth, you know.
Yeah.
I fucked that joke up
rough.
so bad.
That's why I never get sick. This episode is sponsored by Airborne. Get your daily dose of vitamin C, people.
Gabbols
It might actually help you with the
already getting
Ronald.
spicy in the chat. You see this?
What?
No, I
should
can't.
This episode is sponsored by the Gay Agenda.
Sponsored
We're
by
all of you.
Down syndrome? What is this?
Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Fetal alcohol
My-
syndrome.
My favorite kind of syndrome.
Is that is that our author?
That is our author. This is Sophie Labelle. We don't
Why
want
is-
to be
why
mean,
is-
but Sophie Labelle is trans, and that is the subject of this entire comic. It is loosely,
Autobiographical?
perhaps, I think it's not so much an autobiographical presentation, maybe a little mixing of autobiographical elements with like imagined scenarios. If you're wondering why, as you start to look at the comic, why it's a tiny child, we'll get into
Yeah, why
that.
is that, Khav?
No, it's just her style, all right? It's chibi. It's chibi, right? Let me throw out all
We'll
the
discover all these characters are in grade school or whatever, so that's that. We'll get into that at some point. There is a reason. I don't know if it's a good
not
reason.
very good.
Yeah.
I don't get why she has the Neapolitan hair in this photograph. She's got your chocolate, strawberry, and then her face is the vanilla.
The vanilla.
Oh.
I love Neapolitan.
I mean, vanilla is a word to describe her, just saying.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it is the worst part of it.
You're making me hate ice cream.
Yeah. How is it possible for someone to make me hate my favorite kind of ice cream?
In any case,
mint chocolate chip.
Game plan here is let's read through some of these. Some of these are very text heavy, typical liberal meme type format, but we'll focus on the important bits, I think.
All the text didn't read.
This is why Dennis Prager was right. The left does want to take away your penis.
Actually, before we start, you know what? If we just so I can throw this out as a recommendation for people, if you don't want to read this, if you want to read something maybe marginally better, and you want to swing for the other side, I have another Tumblr comic. Well, it's not posted on Tumblr anymore, but it was originally from there. It's called Leasebound, and that may help you too.
Yes, I've spoken to the author of Leasebound.
Yeah. Nice. Wonderful person.
I listened to your interview with her. So.
Oh, nice. Yes, I got an interview with her.
But yes, Leasebound is the lesbian webcomic.
Yes, written by
by
what other people would consider a TERF.
By an actual lesbian.
Yes.
And not a horny guy.
Yes, that is true.
That's that.
Surprisingly.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to recommend something like, classic, like Stone Toss or...
No, Stone Toss isn't relevant to this. He's Twitter, not Tumblr.
Stone Toss is my favorite LGBT webcomic.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, it is written by a lesbian person of color.
Yeah, POC lesbian author, definitely.
Well, I will say probably my first big contact with webcomics was, in fact, a gay-themed webcomic. Some of you might have heard of it. It's called Always Raining Here. It's no longer ongoing.
Available?
Oh. It's available. You can still read it. I'll share a link with you guys, but it was the first webcomic I ever read all the way through, and it's good. It's good.
How sexy does it get?
It's like, I don't know, PG 15.
Okay.
I don't know.
15. Anyway,
Who would like to read this first one? It's a banger. It starts out really good.
Not I, said the fly.
Let me get.
I'll
this
read
out of
it.
the way, I suppose.
Dawson.
Okay. I wasn't born a boy, just as much as I didn't become a girl. It's just that nobody cared to ask me first. The only difference with cisgender people is that they agree with the gender they're assigned. We've entered a whole new level of cringe that shouldn't be possible.
So just starting with this art style. I mean, what do we make of that art style?
jazz
You
hands.
get the little gay bracelet and the trans bracelet. So that's nice.
It's like it's very smug. It's just the body
Oh,
language
yeah.
is smug, the face
Oh,
is
of
smug.
course.
It's the most smug thing I've ever fucking seen.
Honey, it's Tumblr. I'm sorry.
Don't ever say those words.
Oh, this one's really good too. Gabbols. Time to read. Or are you literate? I forget.
I can read short words.
Oh,
Don't think he reads Bokmal, just Nynorsk.
First, I just want to point out it's my favorite fucking stupid way of shading. It's
the
the
dots.
dot shading.
Is
It's
that
the way that. Okay, so
Yeah, who's that pop artist from the '60s that did that? You know, kinda-
I don't know the
Yeah,
person.
Lichtenstein. That's it.
Yeah,
the Bente
so like
process.
So, like, the thing is, right, yesterday we also did a reading for a comic called Bittersweet Candy Bowl, and they do the same thing, and I hate it. But theirs is more subtle. They do it in the backgrounds, but I still find it stupid because it fucks with my eyes, and it fucks with everyone's eyes. It's meant to be a subtle, like, optical illusion to give you the illusion of depth, but it's fucks with you. It fucks with you every
it's a
time.
carryover from newspaper.
Yeah, news.
Except
newspaper or
it's
old trash
fully
can comic.
digital. It's
Right.
fully digital, you goddamn hipsters.
You can shade without it now.
You no longer have that excuse of it being.
You just do it for the pop aesthetic, I guess. All right, Gabbles, time to read.
You just do it specifically to annoy Amazon.
What do you mean I have boy parts? Are you talking about my penis? Because it's mine and I'm a girl. So it's a girl's penis.
Why are you getting a little bit Jewy on me?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
Oi, I got the Goyle's piece.
I got my penis at a great deal. I got it at a deal.
It already came 10% off.
It's a girl Schwanz. What can I say?
The
Oy.
Goyim penis.
Oy vey.
Hey, can we just all sit back and appreciate that circumcision joke? That was so good.
That's very good, yeah.
Well, if you do it right, it'll become a girl's penis.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm already like trying to piece together this person's theory of transness. And I still, yeah,
Oh.
it's gonna get more and more confusing. So because we started off with, I wasn't born, what was it? I wasn't born a boy or became a girl. I just always was a girl. I don't have boys' parts. My boys' parts are girls' parts because I am a girl.
I'm just gonna say, I think we've all met trans people in real life here, not on the internet, correct? I think most of us, at the
Yeah.
very least.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe so. I do. I had one classmate in high school who I think was trans, or at least drag, and funnily enough, no one ever like talked shit about it and like, hey, it's them, it's Raven, whatever. You look weird.
I was gonna say I've known a few trans people in my life, in my personal life.
Oh.
They don't buy any of this kind of shit that I know personally. I mean, it's anecdotal, but like they're not like, What do you mean I was born a boy? I've always been a girl. Like they're pretty realistic about it. They're like, yeah, I was born a boy, and that's the reason I had to transition. I know it's not a girl penis. I know it's a penis. It's fine. It is what it is.
That's sort of the response you might get if you ask most transgender persons.
Mm-hmm.
Or transgender people of a certain age, I suppose. I don't know if it's a
this
generational
is
thing.
definitely a newer. This person's quite young, I think.
Yeah, remember, I'm old as fuck.
Well,
Also,
I mean,
Emma-
according to this, she's
You
like a grade
dinosaur.
schooler.
Yeah.
No, I also just want to point out, so like, I'm thrown off by how absolutely disjointed these comics are. These one, like, it's okay, it's cool to be like one-page comics and stuff, but like, there's no setup, or like she's responding to someone who's not there, and I mean that's usually how these sort of like agenda comics go. Except usually they'll have a straw man. There's not even a straw man.
Not
You
yet.
don't even hear what the straw man is saying.
Yeah, the first couple strips here are just sort of memes, or not memes, but sort of motivational posters, kind of.
And you're kind of laying the foundation for how you should think.
Like, here's
when
the
you-
ideology we must adopt before continuing. Before you turn the next page, you must accept these tenets. Here we go.
Are these not the Psalms of
Yeah,
the...
these are the 10 Commandments. I think the shading changed again. We got these white outlines.
Yeah, they're learning, giving it some of that extra. They heard the word highlights.
See, I think that's a callback to newsprint because it's like shifting the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think that's what that's supposed to be.
And
I'm
it's
gonna be
here that I
honest.
remind you, dear artist, once again, you're fully digital. Please.
It could be a silk screen. You don't know. It's got digital scan.
You're right,
No.
Amazon. Those dots are looking really out of place, and if they continue, they're gonna piss me off.
Yeah.
This is
By the way,
you-
she's got a bad case of Elmer Fudd head. I just want to throw
Yeah,
that out there.
definitely.
her forehead. Her
Already got
forehead
the
is like
male-
half of the cranium.
Already got the male pattern baldness.
Oh no.
Oh no! Bad
no.
cop.
Damn, that's.
Why you gotta cut Dan deep like that, Cat?
Yeah, hey, wait a minute.
I'm sorry. This is bald phobic of me. I take it back.
She may have alopecia.
We must fight this follicle normative society.
All right, I think Gemini.
All right, I'm gonna try and say this how I think the creator sounds. I always wondered what being a boy and being a girl really meant. Till I understood that every person identifying as a boy or a girl redefines the signification of those words.
Do they mean the significance or the definition of those words?
I'd like
'Cause
to
I'm
point
not-
out that if,
Question.
I'd like
I'm
to
not
point out
sure
that
if
at the-
signification is a word.
But
I'd like to point out that at the bottom of each, below each comic and below the first, previous, next, and latest, you see a little caption where basically the artist apparently is summarizing the.
That is
message in
the
the
author's
comic.
notes. So
Means
yes.
what you
It's-
want it to mean.
No,
Which
no,
is-
not only that, but that's usually where what usually happens with artists is that they'll put the notes to give like comments on what's going on or things about it.
Right.
Yes.
And right there.
you know, out of context of this comic, and I know what the message is supposed to be, but that like last little statement, until I understood that every person identifying as boy or girl redefines the significance of those words, that's kind of something I grew up with though, because I grew up when like it was okay for girls to be tomboys, it was okay for boys to be more, I guess they call it later metrosexual, to be
Feminine.
more like like NSYNC was hot, Backstreet Boys was hot, you had the spiked hair and
hmm
It was
Oh.
okay to be soft.
yeah, it was
It was
okay to be
okay.
soft. Like it was okay to not be totally feminine and totally masculine. Like that's
the
kind of
words-
where I grew up. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. That out of context, that sentence isn't bad. But I understand the context of this comic is to say like, oh, that means that you're transgender.
But I also think like this could also be flipped around to be like this. To say that every person identifying as boy or girl redefines that's the significance of boy and girl.
Yeah, it's a weird.
That could also be seen as a turf ideology, since it's like, yeah, these men who are trying to identify as women are thus redefining the term of woman and what it means to be a woman.
Yeah, it is kind of true because the TERF. I mean, remember TERF stands for trans radical feminist or whatever.
Trans exclusionary radical feminist.
That's right, but radical feminist. So feminist. So
Yes.
that's really the idea of feminism, is that girls don't have to be girly girls to be girls.
Mm-hmm.
Is it not?
Even more so, it's that the patriarchy imposes gender roles.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's a whole
right.
Hydra conspiracy theory.
Yes. All right, now we're gonna have kind of a comic.
Sweet. And is it a classic 4-panel?
The classic 4-panel.
Yeah,
I think they're mostly classic 4 panels.
Yeah, most of them. Yeah, there's like a couple 3 panels. But,
boy, we're talking about privileges today.
Even better.
I can't wait to dispute every single quote unquote privilege that is going to be laid out in this wonderful little whatever the Japanese word for yonkoma. Yeah.
This little child has given up their male privilege. So Danimal, I think you can field this one.
Okay.
As the one with the most male privilege in this room.
Okay. All right. I'll take it from the top. Hang on, let me find a good voice. Privileges I lost when trans. Oh, wait, is that not a good one?
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna stop you because I'm not hosting, but that's a lot of words, Danimal. That's a lot of words.
I can do it. I got a glass of water here. I took an edible. I'm good to go.
I want to go home eventually.
All right, fine. Privileges I lost when transitioning. Answering the teacher's questions. Boys occupy 2/3 of speaking time in the classroom. Being told I can succeed in math and getting feedback on content. At the end of their elementary schooling, boys will have had an average of about 40 hours more of private math teaching than girls. And girls are more likely to only get feedback on style. Beautifully written. Telling jokes in class without being told that it is not appropriate for my gender. Girls don't interrupt. Come on. Sarcasm. Not having my body shamed and policed by school administration and teachers. Steffi, that is inappropriate.
I just want to note, you started off strong. That was a very good female voice, and then at the end, you turned into shore leave.
I can't keep it up.
You'd never pass. Come on, Danimal.
He can pass for like 5 minutes. We can work with this. We can work.
I'm done with this woman business.
So this is just the I'm a fellow.
I couldn't even attempt a woman voice.
So this is just the fellow I'm an oppressed woman comic.
Yes.
Yeah. It's raising awareness, Dan.
It is raising awareness. Apparently, when you transition, you stop talking. Stop talking. You get beautiful handwriting.
That doesn't explain Twitter,
What's
though.
The year on this
you become unfunny and ugly.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
This is 2014, so that's like the height of bedroom feminism.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Let's see. Being unable to shut up. Being ugly.
Yep.
Let's see. Being bad at learning.
Bad at math.
Obviously, and bad at math. Yeah, that all describes typical woman.
It wasn't even so much that I don't think they said that they were just bad at math. It was more that boys get more private study with the teachers.
I
don't know. I don't know.
Where do you think all those sources came from? You think those came from a Daily Kos article?
Insert the meme. Where is the source?
Daniel over
some
here
BuzzFeed article. Sure.
Yeah,
this was revealed to me in a dream once.
The source is I made it the fuck up.
God damn it! That's literally what I said.
Now we get into some comics, and this may
Oh
feel
boy.
like a total switch, because it kind of is, but this person is also very obsessed with intersex children and surgery on said intersex children.
Yeah.
Coming in hard and fast in the 5th page.
Yeah.
Man.
I'll just get the wood chipper up and running.
So here we go. This is very funny, and I'm gonna read it.
Sweet.
And I'm sure
What's the before we start? Why is intersex so involved, or why do trans activists like to involve intersex so much in these discussions?
because it's a real condition that they can just.
It's one of the main
Well,
examples that
understand
they
what's
can point
going
to that show that there is a biological phenomenon. Full.
I think it's for trans activists, intersex people are sort of a sometimes convenient example they can point to. When you say men and women are different, and sex is generally binary, but what about Castor Semenya? What about intersex people? What about blah 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 blah? And they use a very small, less than 0.01% of the world's population group as an example that would disprove a rule occupied by the rest of the human species throughout history.
Wouldn't this
really
fact that most of the intersex conditions leave the people who have the condition completely infertile be?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Not another sex.
And many times, intersex conditions aren't or historically weren't noticed at necessarily at birth, and only really were noticed at puberty, when maybe a girl might have undescended testes, or a boy might have ovaries that cause hormone problems, and those have to be treated or surgically removed depending on the circumstance. So intersex people are not a very visible condition at all. And
Most of them, yeah.
it's strange that they get most of them. It's strange that they get lumped into the trans umbrella, as if that were somehow an exception worthy enough to disprove the rule.
I'm not even sure that intersex people see themselves as like a cohort, like together as a group.
Most of them don't.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of them don't like the term intersex.
Yeah, I would think so. I would
A lot
think
of
that they
them
would
prefer,
not want to be defined by their
DS
condition.
Yeah, a lot of them prefer the term DSD, disorders of sexual development.
That makes a lot more
disorder,
sense.
and it usually, pretty much all of them, you're still unambiguously male or female.
Yeah,
Right.
because
You
there
can
no
still
human
tell.
being I think is truly intersex in the sense that they're, let's say, a hermaphrodite or some kind of human that has fully developed male and female sex characteristics. Because in the case of these people with disorders of sexual development, they might have fully developed male genitalia, but underdeveloped or undescended female genitalia, or vice versa. Which is the case with Castor Semenya, who is, for all intents and purposes, she has, I think, fully functioning female setup hardware, but she was disqualified from competing. I think she was a long distance runner. She was disqualified from competing because she had testicles that had not descended and were producing excess testosterone in her body, and so the IOC, International Olympic Commission, said that her hormones weren't properly regulated so that she couldn't compete.
And she was chromosomally male.
Mm.
XY chromosomes.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's an interesting thing, but the next couple ones here are going to be about intersex, so we'll try to see what exactly it is this person doesn't like about the intersex issue. Stop non-consensual hormonal and genital mutilations on intersex minors? You're not serious. Then parents and peers would have to accept those children as they are.
I'm just going to say,
unto God.
Right. A lot of the surgeries that have to happen on an infant with intersex conditions is because their like urethral passage is blocked, or like there's some like serious thing that needs to be taken care of immediately for that infant to survive.
Yeah.
Typically,
And
like you can
isn't
only
that
have,
a-
like you can only have a certain amount of hormones going through your body before it starts causing issues. So
Yeah, but
if
that's
you
not
have
going
a
to be an
male
issue with an infant causing emergency surgery right away. I mean, I'm talking about
Sure.
like at the point of infancy. Like, don't they usually have to, like, if it's going to be a surgery that has to do because of a DSD, that's
Mhm.
usually going to be something that because
think-
the waste system is blocked or something.
Yeah, and in corrective surgeries, it would usually be something like they would diagnose the child as male or female. They would do a holistic diagnosis, and then they'd say, okay, this part doesn't belong. They would make a determination based on that. And I know there's discussion around that, about whether that should be the case. I don't think this comes up very often. This is not having ambiguous genitalia, that would require surgery to make it look less ambiguous. These are very, very rare situations. But here we go. Here's another one about intersex. Amazil.
Oh, sweet.
Your turn.
It's the story of a healthy baby that made the doctors really anxious because of their micro penis.
A story
Wait,
you can
do-
all relate to, I'm sure.
Especially
Wait,
Gabbols.
do they mean?
Yeah, especially Gemini.
Wait. Hey.
Wait. I have a real quick question. Do they mean the baby's micro penis or the
baby's
doctor's
micro
micro
penis.
penis?
The doctor.
Doctor Debbie.
Doctor's like, I can't fit this in a baby. What the heck?
Oh no!
Imagine you're a man with a micro penis, and to compensate, you become like a surgeon.
If I get less penis, everyone else does.
You
Is
become
that-
like the world's greatest penis enhancement surgeon, so you enhance your own penis.
Is that not what MD stands for? Mini dick?
Micro dick. Oh, it's micro. It's micro dick.
Oh yeah.
Micro.
You see, it's because that baby challenged the common belief of doctors and society about what makes a girl and a boy. He can't even speak, and he's challenging society.
Society, man.
He can't even stand up, and yet he stands up to the man. So doctors measured the baby's micropenis to know if it could potentially be penetrating what? Or does it mean like seating inside?
I don't want to think
I don't
about.
want to have to explain this to some gay
Okay.
men, but a penis can go in a woman's vagina.
Ew.
Like normally, or
Yes.
But there's
Regular.
a butthole
Whoa.
right there.
That's disgusting.
people are fucking freaks.
People are just that's why we need sodomy laws.
Here, I'm gonna drop all my anti-hetero memes. Hang on.
The sodomy laws, where sodomy is made legally required.
Yes. It's the only legal method of intercourse.
State-enforced sodomy.
State-enforced sodomy is the way. That is the future of this
SES.
country.
Vote yes on SES.
If yes, they'd make a boy of them. If not, they'd rather assign them girl, considering those sexist premises. 1. What's a boy without the capacity to penetrate? 2. Are the girl's sexual sensations worth being preserved? Underlying question, do they even exist? Women.
Women.
Oh, they don't need it. They don't need to feel. They don't need sex. And they still do that in 2014? It doesn't make any sense. Yup, even in Montreal's hospitals. Ah, she's Canadian.
Canadian.
That
This
makes-
explains
Oh.
everything.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense now. And
I'm-
Kevin
We gotta
Law, no
deport
less.
we gotta deport the Canucks, man.
I just did a quick Google search because I just wanted to know if there's any ounce of truth to this, that if a baby is born with a micro penis, then the doctors just pretend it's a girl. But
or do they cut it off? Or
yeah, from
that's
what
what
I'm
that's what
reading.
I'm assuming is the thing that they're insinuating is that they cut it off and then turn you into a girl. Bibbidi boopity boo.
I
You're
guess.
not a dude.
I'm not finding that anywhere.
Yeah, I've
To be
never heard of somebody of a man of a male child with a micro penis being considered a girl.
So
That is just
here's
that's not what happens. That's not a thing.
here's the treatments. So how is micropenis treated in a child? Treatment will depend on your child's symptoms, age, and general health. It will also depend on how severe the condition is. Your child may be referred to specialists. These may include pediatric urologist, pediatric endocrinologist. Hormone therapy may be used for some children. These can be used to cause penile growth. In some cases, your child may need surgery. Talk to your child's healthcare providers about risk, benefits, and possible side effects to all treatment. So I don't
Yeah, it's
see
probably
anything
more
there
about,
about gender transitioning the infant.
Yeah.
Are you saying that HRT makes your dick bigger?
Possibly.
Yes. It wouldn't make sense to reassign them because if they're biologically male, giving them a vagina is not going to change their.
And also,
you
I'm
have to diagnose them chromosomally and hormonally and all that.
And I'm pretty sure you'd have to like go through the parents like, hey, so remember when we told you like a month before that you have a son?
Plus, I think like doctors are probably the least likely people to be like, your dick is too small to penetrate. You're not even a man.
Yeah.
I don't think this is happening. I'm gonna say that this might be bullshit.
I would like to think this is just projection. They have a micro dick, and they were told they weren't a man, and so
it began.
Yes.
You think this is what the parent told them?
Their
origin.
I have no son. He has a baby dick. Wait, no.
Hey, let me introduce you to my son. He's got a baby dick. He's not even a man.
Yeah, no one talks like this.
Okay, here we go. We have a series of on this one page. We have a series of.
Oh boy!
This is a baby doll.
That's not a baby doll. It's a fetal alcohol syndrome.
Oh yeah.
A
Medical
fetal
drawing.
alcohol syndrome, a singular fetal alcohol syndrome. Okay. And if you can give me one good reason for discouraging boys to play with one, please let me know.
They're gonna burn it.
Yes.
Yeah, I would fill it with bottle rockets.
This is a toy mirror.
Done that to my my toys.
It is not a girl's toy, useful for any role play that requires a mirror.
Don't talk about roleplay.
Boys often use mirrors too, and just so you know, it doesn't have the ability to change someone's sexuality. What the fuck?
Only.
This is a toy car. It goes really fast if you make an engine sound. Are you 2? Okay.
Yes.
Really useful to acquire geographical. What the fuck? Grown-up girls own cars, so why not younger? What the what?
I'm pretty sure my sister owned a Barbie convertible.
Yeah.
Every Barbie doll that my sisters would get, the clothes would disappear. They would just tear the clothes off the Barbie and then like horribly manipulate the Barbies into like, okay. So my sisters and I watched all of those awful direct-to-DVD Barbie movies.
Oh man.
They are all terrible, but they basically gave us a great idea for how to play with Barbies in a very unorthodox way. And so we just made them say horrible things to each other and quote all the stupid lines from those stupid movies. One time, Barbie's little sister got locked in the bathroom, and the toilet became a rocket, and so she was just flying through the air, taped to a toy toilet that was in the dollhouse.
Hey, Tenny, I'm just taking notes here. Would you say that's when your aversion to women began?
I was gonna say this is not like how the gay got started.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pinpoint.
Well, you're not far off.
Playing with
Barbie
dolls.
is great.
I knew it.
Barbie is great conversion tool. So is strawberry shortcake.
Oh yeah.
And fuck strawberry shortcake. That's not. No, I don't mess with that. Polly Pocket, Puppy in My Pocket, Bratz dolls.
Oh, we had
Actually,
Pound Puppies. They're cool.
Pound Puppies as well. We didn't have any My Little Pony though, growing up.
Yeah,
that really
I
wasn't.
have
Thank God.
these neat, like sort of realistic horse figurines.
I'm very glad that you only turned out to be a furry and not a brony.
No clopping in this
Ooh.
house. No clopping.
Thank God.
Right, Amazil?
Right.
So obviously, I mean, let's kind of, because this is all about gendered toys
Mm-hmm.
and the expectation of gendered toys.
I think we can all agree that, of course, any kid can play with any toy they want.
Exactly. That's why toys aren't gendered. It's like, if a parent gets a toy that they think their little girl will like, and the girl doesn't like it, that doesn't mean that the girl is projecting gender stereotypes by not playing with a Barbie doll or a Bratz doll or whatever. And if they get their boy like a G.I. Joe action figure or a toy tank that the kid doesn't play with, that's not the kid, being stunning and brave by not playing with so-called masculine toys. Kids should be able to play with any, toy they like.
I used to love playing Pretty Princess with my sister.
I think that
was a
imposing.
great
Yes,
board
we
game.
know.
And that's when the gay started.
Yeah, that's
I
Well,
think
well.
it is prescriptively correct, right? We shouldn't force kids to play with only certain kinds of toys just because some are boys and some are girls. I think descriptively, though, it really does hold up that toys are highly gendered. There's a really good article that was published recently by this parent who tried to raise his kid non-gender stereotype. He like force him to play with dolls and force him to play with non-boy toys. And then the boy fell in love with tractors, and he's just obsessed with tractors now. And
Yeah, that sounds about right,
like,
because
what did I do wrong? It's like, no,
you didn't do anything wrong. That's the
Males
thing.
just tend to, and not all males, and some females can, but male boys tend to be very obsessed with vehicles, machines, things with working parts.
Things that do actions, like action-oriented toys, whereas girls seem to like, I guess, object-oriented or
relationship-oriented too.
Yeah, like they like to play house or have a little dollhouse with a family in it. That's just sort of already complete. Boys like to build things, and that's why you see like 20-somethings in their mom's basement making videos of building like Lego Star Wars kits. Yeah. Right, Nick Fuentes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Who is a little boy.
I will say that psychologists have identified in what they term proto-gay, which are kids that typically grow up being gay, is that they do tend to play with non-gender specific toys.
Yeah.
Or gender opposite toys.
Sounds about right.
So they do end up growing up gay if you play with a Barbie, just saying.
So don't let them play with Barbie. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying Kevin Hart was right.
Well, don't let him do it. All right, Gabbols, you awake?
Yes.
Yes. All right, here we go. I'm going to let you take this one. It's another declarative one.
I'm not a girl in a boy's body. I'm a girl. This is my body. Girls have all kinds of bodies.
Just don't ask about my bodies in the basement.
That face.
Yeah, that's a bit much, huh?
What is the size and scale of this person's forehead? What is that?
Like, it's the size of their torso.
Well, you don't understand. You have to be. You have to have a high IQ to get this stuff.
It's a big brain.
Little kitty leggings too.
It's like Code Lyoko.
Girls have all kinds of bodies. Same goes for boys. Okay. Good to know. Okay, here we go. Actually have a comic for once.
Oh, hey, there's another person.
There's another human being in this one, actually. Here we go.
Will this one have a punchline?
Calling a trans person... Shut up. Calling a trans person by their birth name.
So, Stefan, how about we watch a movie?
My name is
Dad.
What is your name?
Wait, did that even pick up on the mic?
No, it didn't. It was too high pitch. It was too high pitch.
Okay, can we get really close to the microphone then, so that it?
No. If you're too high pitch, it's gonna spike. But yeah, go ahead and try it.
My name is Steffi, Dad.
I'm really sorry, Steffi. How about we watch a movie?
Yeah, we lost that one.
Damn it. We lost you again.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what it doesn't
Stefan,
need to
how about we
be...
watch... So, Stefan, how about we watch a movie? Stop it.
My name is Steffi, Dad.
There you go.
It's even better. OMG, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I don't deserve to live.
That's right, motherfucker.
Break yourself, fool.
What it shouldn't be.
So, Stefan, how about we watch a movie?
My name is Steffi, Dad.
That's what I said.
No, it's not, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
Bitch, no you didn't.
Yeah, I swear.
What it should never be.
So, Stefan, how about we watch a movie?
My name is Steffi, Dad.
Oh, come on. Get over it. I'm doing my best, okay?
Man, fuck you.
He almost slipped into Bobby Hill there.
Yeah, my name is Steffi, Dad.
Oh, hey, look. It's 2015.
Oh,
New year.
It's 2015. Trans people shouldn't have to
It's
get
the
over being
current-
called by their birth name.
It's the current year.
Current year.
I want to see whatever other reactions to the election.
Oh, yeah. If we can make it to 2016 November. I don't know if we can.
Oh boy.
I doubt it, but
Okay,
it would be
this
great.
one is really long and you might
Jesus.
skip it, but you can kind of get a sense. This is a short guide for the inclusion of trans, intersex, and gender nonconforming youth in the classroom. So this is for me. You know,
Ooh.
I'm a teacher, so I'm gonna learn. Don't
like
wait to
that
have an
middle
openly
motto.
trans, intersex, or gender nonconforming student before adapting or teaching your teaching or behavior. Okay? Use inclusive language and resources. That's kind of gay. Calling out anything that is wrongfully binary or cis-sexist.
Calling out? What the fuck does that mean?
Get rid of all books.
It means being an obnoxious
All
cunt
books are
24/7.
cis-sexist. Anytime you read anything, you're like, this is sexist, kids.
Yeah, just fucking slapping a 5-year-old that doesn't understand.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Gender- Segregated space is inclusive. Oh, yes, because
Huh.
segregation should be inclusive. I can't even pee without everyone making a fuss about it.
Then stop
Oh,
using
I
the.
think you should see the doctor about that then.
So what? They want the teacher to go in and keep the girls from bullying, or what?
I don't
want a
like where
teacher
that
in
line
the
of
bathroom with
thought
my
leads,
kid.
honestly. I
Protect
do
gender
not like where that
identity
line
and
of thought
expression in your
leads.
classroom and in the school policies. Train yourself and have the staff trained. Hi, lesbian mom. Okay. Anyway,
Ugh.
it just goes into long.
That man
text.
was double limp wristing.
Shout out to the Antichrist for 2069 at tumblr.tumblr.com that liked that post.
If trans people told cis people the same things they tell them.
To me, you are 100% girl, you know.
Gee, thanks.
I can't even tell. You pass so well as a boy.
Huh? That's because I am one.
Hey, beauty. You know what? You make such a pretty girl. I mean it.
Well, I combed my hair today, but never mind.
Good. It looks like you only combed half your hair. What are you
Nobody only
talking-
has half the hair.
Yeah.
Wow. OMG, you are so brave. It takes so much courage to be yourself.
Wow, Clavin, I woke up like this lady.
You know,
You just stole my shtick.
Yeah, but I did it better.
Yeah.
True.
Okay,
Damn
here's
it,
another
Al.
one. Oh, okay, I'll read this one.
Ah.
If you haven't gotten this message yet at this point, here it is again. Even though most girls have a vulva and most boys have a penis, studies have found that it's not the case for all of them. So please cut the cis-sexist bullshit.
What is with those letters and just they're not all sized properly? Why would someone create a font like that?
To bother OCD people
Style.
like you,
Yeah, that's like a ransom note font.
to troll people, I think. I like
This
the
is the
crocodile.
It's
troll
probably
font
the
now.
same Well, you know what? Oh. Well, you know what? Thank God they stopped the dots. So,
God, the
Also,
smugness.
the
Smugness.
infamous studies have shown.
Studies have shown that not all girls have a vulva and most boys have a penis.
Well, I know that Ayana Hirsi Ali doesn't have a vulva, but that's for a very specific reason.
Sad.
all the boys that don't have penises are called eunuchs.
But the smugness again in that previous face. So let's see if
Here we
it's
go.
more smug.
Who else wants to yell?
Can I yell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Transitioning isn't about passing as a gender or another. It's about being more authentic with who you are.
We are.
Whatever.
Whatever.
This art is so cringe. These drawings are terrible.
Why the mustache and the hat?
Because
You're like
see, if
2000s
when
atheist?
Sophie was a man, that was the costume.
Can we shave a little bit off the sides of that mustache and
She looks.
in the
Yeah.
middle of the nose there with that like lederhosen hat?
Yeah.
Sophie is looking dangerously close to that fucking blue bear. You want to be a cartoonist
Oh
guy.
no! Oh, I was thinking about him the other day. When we were covering webcomics.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I know.
Blue bear. Things I still need, even if I'm now perceived as a girl.
Excuse me, but all the books on display only show boys on their cover. That's because boys don't read. Their need to identify is stronger. What? My opinion's being taken seriously. I think our class council should pronounce itself against austerity. You don't even know what it means.
I don't even know
We're
what
in grade
that
school,
means.
What the heck?
My body not constantly being commented on and policed. You should try a diet. Hey you, I like your legs.
See,
People
the
not
comeback
considering
there is, you should fix your head. Why is it skewed?
Is your neck like that?
The whole body, everything's kind of weird. People not considering my mood in a public property. Why do you look so serious, little girl? Give me a smile. I'm busy reflecting on the loss of some privileges right now.
You
Could you
look so
call it
serious, little girl.
Why so serious? You want to know how I got these GSR scars? Well, it's kind of right in the name.
My father
Was a drinker.
I
My father was a
My
turd.
father was a gamer.
Why I hate being told that I should take it easy when I'm misgendered. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be funny. I can feel it. It's gonna
Oh,
be
boy.
comedic.
I can't wait.
Gabbols.
I'm prepping my forced laughter.
I don't understand why you take being misgendered so seriously. I get mistaken for a boy sometimes too, and I don't. I find it rather funny and laughable. You should take it easy.
Let's just start from here. Just imagine that you got misgendered every single time since your birth.
Oh,
And-
God, you remember when you were a baby and you were getting misgendered?
And everyone around it insisted that you're a boy. They'd insist so hard that you'd feel obligated to behave and dress accordingly. That's what I've been through, and each time someone misgenders me, that's what I'm being reminded.
Got it, weirdo.
No, you don't. Or no, that's what you say when you realize, oh, I'm talking with a crazy person, and I need to say whatever I can to get out of this conversation.
Person
Just like a
says
hostage
thing.
situation.
Conflict has ended. Boom. Bigotry solved.
It's the perfect script.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. It was funny.
Hilarious. Love that punchline.
That's high comedy here.
Okay. Respect intersex babies.
There's no way I'm respecting that baby. Look at that baby.
That baby's soulless. That thing's possessed,
You want
man.
to mutilate
That
its
doesn't even-
genitals. Just look
Like
at
compared
it.
to
Right?
all the other drawings, this baby looks just like same proportions, almost like same.
Don't mutilate them.
Interesting that all these characters have the same proportions. Interesting. I wonder if that'll come up later, Cobb.
Ugh.
Okay, now we get some parents of trans children.
Has it been? No, has it
Yeah,
been
I'll give it
71
that.
pages? My
We've read
God.
71 pages.
We have not read 71
Oh,
pages.
no,
There's
no,
no
we
way.
have not.
We're missing some. Darn. We got gaps in
Oh,
the story.
someone's been editing history. I
It's like an
wonder
ancient
why.
Roman play. You just,
I think
there's just
because
some acts
it might
that are
be an
missing.
archive.
Things have been, I feel like history has been rewritten here.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know what to think anymore. I feel everything would be easier if Sandrix? Sandy? What the fuck is that? Latinx?
See, that's why I should have fucking... This is why she is not your daughter.
That was a bad joke. All right, hang on.
It's hard to tell in this comic who actually they could both be them. They could either one of them could be them.
I don't think these are not co-parents. These are
I don't think so.
two
I'm not
friends.
sure. I feel everything would be easier if Sandrix identified with the binary, trans or not. Their grandparents won't ever let it. They're fine with Sandrix's gender expression, but for them, they stay a boy. And on top of that, there's this camp registration thing.
Have you thought about sending them to a special camp for trans children?
Oh boy!
There's this one in Poland. Steffi went to one last year and she loved it. I swears every day.
You mean there's a special camp for trans children? Oh my God. Have you called the UN? That sounds like a fucking crime. Jesus. But oh my God. I just
I saw that. Say it.
But isn't it a form of ghettoization? Oh my God. How will trans people gain social acceptance if we keep them out of society? Hey.
You can't
What are
socially
you talking about? Black people don't go to camp.
I mean, you can't socially tolerate some. You don't have to socially tolerate somebody if they're not in society. This is the big brain move.
Well, right now, camps aren't safe for children. Let's empower them before sending them to the wolves.
That way we can tape it and it'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
Kids Nation.
We'll
Trans
get
Kids
we'll get so much fucking clout on TikTok.
Mhm.
So let's just put it on the record. Sophia Labelle in favor of building camps for trans kids.
Send them to camps. Sophie
Holy
Labelle.
cow. Whoa.
Oh, taste, Batman.
I mean, I get what she was saying, but man, phrasing.
I do not know what this fucking trans camp is, though.
I know. No, I'm doing my best home star. I know perfectly. It was sarcasm. It's Sandrix that showed me how to use it. Guess who they got it from?
Their real father.
Oh, my wife's boyfriend. Wait, was that whole panel just like the whole camp thing was sarcasm? Is that what it was?
I guess so. Yeah.
Feel like-
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I would assume like
Do
fucking.
you think after that comic got published and like fuck, I got to do an extra panel explaining that sarcasm? Do you think that's why this exists? I mean, this isn't part of the original comic. Just saying.
Here we go. Oh, we got more of Sandrix. I think I'll be Sandrix. And
Oh,
then
cool.
who wants to be Sophie this time?
I would love to be Sophie. I don't think I've been Sophie yet, have I?
I think so.
It's Steffi. Come
Steffi.
Yeah.
Steffi. Not Sophie Labelle. Please, this isn't an insert
This
character.
is not an
Khavvah,
insert
obviously.
character. Shut up, everyone.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about changing my name again.
That's cool. I changed mine twice.
I still love the idea of having a name that combines Sandro and Sandra and refers to Latinxes, but I can't get anyone to pronounce it right. I don't want to spend my life explaining it.
What's
Did
the
you-
name of the fucking baby from Twilight?
A room full of gay men and nobody knows Twilight Baby, huh?
What is
Oh,
her name? Something
I,
stupid.
it's really stupid.
Renesmee.
Yeah, Renesmee. That's it.
Renesmee, yeah. Yeah, congratulations, you've made a fucking name that's more contrived and stupid than Renesmee. I hate you.
Did you think of another one that's not fucking dumb?
Not yet.
I should ask Elon Musk.
Steffi, do you have any idea when I'll know if I'm a girl or a boy?
Well, that was sudden.
Yeah, I figured there wouldn't be a better time today to ask you.
And it's not like this dialogue has been clunky already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is jumping around, huh?
I hope this helps you appreciate the stuff that I have shown you.
Yes.
There is a bar.
Can you imagine if you walked in on your kid and her friend having this conversation?
You
Yeah, you're
I
like,
don't
what
know if
the-
I'm a boy or a girl?
Well, I can answer that for you, son.
Although to be fair, you know what? I think probably really young kids. I mean, really young kids don't know what the fuck a boy and a girl is.
Yeah.
You know?
Just know
Oh, they're
that
going
it
into
can-
Stonewall.
Here we go.
Oh, what? Oh, boy.
Anyway, if there's anything.
No. That's Cat. Or wait,
No.
is
No,
it?
I'm
Or
Steffi.
who's-
Don't you dare ever stop me again.
Don't misgendered animal.
Anyway, if there's anything the broken promises of the gay and lesbian civil rights movement taught us after Stonewall, it's that now is always the best time to talk about gender issues. Okay?
You know, Steffi, sometimes I just feel like you're reading my mind. What is Stonewall?
I learned about it on Blue's Clues.
Oh.
Since you can read my mind.
I think sometimes people are girls or boys and sometimes not. Right? Right?
Right.
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 It's probably harder for non-binary people to feel like they belong to a group or another, seeing how few representations there are of people out of the binary, like, you know.
I know this might sound weird, and don't worry about not answering. How did you know you were a girl?
My teacher told me. I knew I was a girl when strangers used she when addressing to me. Wait, that's a weird way to say it, when addressing.
Yeah, that's not proper grammar. When addressing me.
Yeah. It always made me so happy, and I wanted to be happy forever.
I like they as my pronoun. I feel validated and taken as a whole when people use it.
Then let it be, let it be, let it be. Gabbols, that one's for you.
Fuck you.
Oh, you know what? You know what this dialogue reminds me of, and why it's so fucking clunky. It sounds like someone who's writing is just. It sounds like fucking kids' TV show dialogue.
No, it sounds like the woke 8-year-old fucking.
No,
Yes.
but like
It's
no,
too
but like you know
adult.
when it's like it's a kids like an actual educational fucking and show, and they're like, I like it when they use me as my pronoun. I feel validated and taken as a whole.
Yeah, it's very stilted. And,
Oh, remember that Steven Universe like be race
Yeah.
conscious thing? It's kind
Yeah.
Be racist.
Be racist.
You know what's I fucking
Steven Universe taught us how to be racist.
what I love the most is that they didn't have to, but they used the purple character for that, and I'm like, why?
Oh, but don't tell that to anyone. Oh my god. I told you because you're my friend. But if you were a cis journalist, for example, oh my god, I would have used rhetorical formulas like, well, how did you know you were a girl? So don't ever tell any adults what we talked about in this room. Don't you ever fucking tell anybody. I will
Okay.
hurt you if you do.
Please don't hurt me. I figured.
Remember when you were 6 and you used words like rhetorical?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was.
Wait, scroll back up. Go back and scroll back up. Is she telling her not to fucking talk to the press?
Yes.
When you talk to the press, use rhetorical formulas, okay?
Remember, lie to everyone.
Lie and use like tricky language.
Yeah,
Those
make sure if
cis.
you talk to somebody, make sure you put them on their back heels and make them feel bad for even addressing you.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure he doesn't do a lot of talking.
You know, fitting in the binaries and all fun and games.
Yeah, I know.
Since Steffi came out as a girl, I've seen it become so anxious about being read as such. And I'm not talking about how girl culture can be toxic sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes?
All the time.
That's just woman.
As you know, she started a transition in 4th grade, even while she hadn't transitioned at school yet. That teacher saw a huge difference in the way she participated in class. Recently, she decided to stop using words like heterosexism or misogyny because they were too fucking big for her age. But because of some cis dudes on our Facebook page said young girls can't say such words.
Oh, those
Yeah,
those evil cis white dudes.
What dudes are following your like 8-year-old daughter Facebook page? Fucking call the police.
Yeah, you might want to call the cop. You shouldn't be saying those words, little girl.
Yeah, excuse me. You shouldn't be saying heterosexual. You shouldn't be making heterosexual comments at my child. Thank you.
Yes,
call the fucking police.
Only make homosexual comments at the child.
Yeah. Oh God, no, Tenny.
And yes, that's going to be the criticism of if you use those words. They're going to say young girls can't say it and not you're retarded. Go away.
That's horrible. Did I sell it?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can I be the small Latin child this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Latinx.
How about Gabbols? Maybe you should be Sophie this time.
You mean Steffi. This is not a self-insert.
This is not a self-insert, guys.
Steffi.
Get it right.
Steffi.
Every time we talk, I feel like it's always the same thing, man? I mean, we're supposed to be in a storybook or something. Wouldn't that be just boring? Just children discussing transgender issues, man.
I actually never thought about that. There's just so many things left to say. Oh my god, Fen, I'm living a trans life, and I want trans people to want to live their trans lives. Everything a trans person does, they do as a trans. I walk as a trans, I laugh as a trans, I fall down the stairs as a trans. That's how I got these bruises. Don't ask about it. Might as well talk about trans shows. I told the light bulb joke the other day. Isn't that enough?
Tumblr ruin your imagination, man. Admit it.
Yes,
I
that's
love
amazing,
the.
man.
I like how you said trans.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
Oh
good.
no.
I love fucking meta humor.
By the way, what the
It's
fuck is the light
never
bulb joke?
not funny.
I'm not sure. What is a light bulb joke? Yeah, I don't know what that's referring to.
Maybe it's in
Joke about changing light bulbs.
Must be a Tumblr thing because they said
How
like you spent
many trans
Oh.
does it take to change a light bulb?
Whoa! God, you gotta cut that.
Very nice. Very nice. Impressive. Very nice.
That gets cut. Holy shit.
That's very bad.
Mhm.
You're a psychopath, Gav.
That was what were we talking about? I was reading something else.
He blacked.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't invalidate you as a girl or a woman if you don't move like a lady, love math or science. OMG, chromosomes. I love chromosomes.
too easy. It's too easy. No.
It's a
She's
trap.
got an
Don't
extra
fall
one to
for
boot.
it. Do not fall for this. It is a trap. Show
Too
talent
late.
at stereotypically masculine things. How? How did you do that?
I mean, it's the tutorial level. How did you die?
Burp or fart. Fart sound. Sorry.
Brap.
And this applies to cis people too. Love that.
We need to
Ha 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 ho ho ho.
Very funny.
That's
Did
a
you
knee
get it?
slapper.
It's supposed to be funny!
you know what's funny? If this was like retweeted today without the context of this being like a trans artist and none of this history, like they would label this as like right wing, wouldn't they?
Yeah. It's very turfy.
You know, that's the funny thing about that people forget about TERFs. A
no,
big
they're
part
gonna
of it,
call us
half
out.
of the fucking acronym is radical feminism. You forget about that.
I know, it's funny. Yeah, they call Ben Shapiro a turf.
Yep.
Hilarious. I can't wait till like today's like movements all become like old and then they get shoved under the bus.
To be fair, Ben
knows?
Shapiro does look like an old lesbian woman.
Yeah, kind of does.
That is not untrue.
Yeah.
There's apparently there's an in joke among trans men that Ben Shapiro is a trans man.
Wait,
Because
why?
he's short. Because he's
I
like
can
short
see it,
and
yeah.
tiny. And kind of
He
lesbian
does,
looking.
he does
he
have
is-
those qualities.
He's just emasculated by his wife, by his daughter. I mean, I'm getting every fucking sister. His sister. I'm
His
sorry.
sister.
His daughter, wife, sister? That's a little weird.
His
That's a little weird.
his sister.
I didn't know he was Mormon.
Sister wife.
He's
Sister wife.
He's very right wing.
Hmm.
He's one of
Alright.
us.
So what's happening on the interwebs, Mom?
Well, some cis bros are complaining because you don't sound like an 11-year-old.
Oh my god, they're talking about us.
Thinking into your dad's into some special restroom again?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what was that gibberish?
Do that one. Did you get any of that?
Some of it.
Barely.
You want to do it again? Here.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do you think I'm faking it to get access to some special restroom again?
So he does it the exact same way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slower.
What a Chad.
A kind of restroom for people who read too many books about gender studies? Elmo thinks that'd be weird. Wait, Elmo's mom, was that actually a good idea? I'm not even sure if it was
Sarcasm or not now.
I don't know anything. What? Wait, let me try and understand this dialogue. So let's read this again. What do they mean? They think I'm faking it to get access to some special restroom again?
Think you're
I
faking
kind
your
of-
age?
A kind of restroom for people who read too many books about gender studies? That'd be weird. Wait, Mom, was that actually a good idea? No, I don't know what do you mean?
Yeah,
what was a good idea? Making this comic? No, it was not a good idea. You should have stopped right there.
I
But,
don't,
I
I don't
mean-
understand what they're even saying. Like, is the joke that the restroom is full of?
No. So what's happening is that it's a fucking thinly veiled fucking jab at people who are criticizing that hey, this is really bad dialogue, and it's not something that a fucking 11-year-old would say, and so she's flipping it on and taking it personal, like, oh, you don't think that I read gender books? Like, no, the problem isn't that you, as the writer, don't read a lot of books. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you're fucking, no pun intended, don't take it the wrong way, but you're balls deep in this shit. But look here, it's not an 11-year-old is not balls deep in this shit.
I don't get.
But they shouldn't
But
be.
like, here's what I don't
Not
understand.
Be balls deep in anything, frankly. That's
Here's
not okay.
here's what I don't understand. Why bring up a restroom? What is going on?
Is it like they're trying to
this was
draw a
back
parallel between being accused of faking sounding like an 11-year-old to faking being a girl? I don't.
Yeah, but they're not
Like, what
saying
are
to get
you
access
thinking?
to the girls' restroom. It's
Yeah,
a
I
special
don't-
restroom.
I
Those are
take
weird.
it as at face value as being more about gatekeeping of taking the criticism as gatekeeping.
Yeah, I get that. I just don't get like the setup for the.
Oh well, when
Joke.
has the setups for these? When has the setup for these things ever been good? We've been through enough of these.
Okay, now I think this character is Steffi's love interest or something.
Oh
Don't
boy!
I don't remember their gender situation other than that's messed up. So
Maybe it's the micro penis.
maybe it's the micro penis. I don't know.
They're probably not straight.
But their name is Myrick. I don't freaking know. Who would like to be Myrick?
He's gonna be assigned Myrick at birth.
I'll be assigned Myrick.
Okay, assigned Myrick and Steffi.
I guess I'll step up to bed. I haven't talked in a while.
Okay.
Myrick, what's the last thing you ever want to tell your psychologist?
Oh boy. Often when I'm thinking to myself, I use my old girl name in my head. It feels weird and tingly.
Wow. Just imagine how gatekeepers could use that to invalidate your identity. Don't tell anyone, but I stand while I pee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to give me a minute here. Okay. I like to paint my nails. Haters gonna hate, dude.
I still have
I
dreams.
mean not dude.
I still have dreams in which I'm a boy.
I thought I was the only one. Radical.
Radical.
So this is so weird too. Like don't tell anyone that you're having feelings of feeling comfortable in your birth sex.
Yeah, don't.
They won't understand, Dan. It's like
This is a little weird. Like who's the no one you're supposed to tell? Like your therapist that's working with you?
Gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Don't tell
Whoa. That was a weird one.
Well, we're coming up to an hour and a half here. Do we want to?
Yeah, I think ending on that one's a good one for
Yeah.
the signed
We
mail.
can
I think
skip
that
to
pretty
the
much.
latest one. Here's the latest one. We could read.
It's still
what is
going.
this?
Oh, yeah, Eric got a little
April
better,
26th. So this is from 3 days ago.
Oh no, they used the G word.
Okay.
That's a Gabbols if I ever saw one.
All right, go ahead, Gabbols.
Look, it's got striped socks.
Programming socks, everything.
Gender helpline, what can I help you with today?
Hello, I'm calling to say that teachers should be banned from teaching kids about gender identity and sexual orientation. They are grooming children.
Oh yes, teaching kids to be accepting and welcoming of diversity. That's definitely grooming. Unlike the fact that queer and trans kids are force-fed heterosexuality and cisness from the crib and everywhere they look, so much that they fear coming out to their own parents. It's getting a bit German. But nothing to do with grooming this time, right?
Yeah.
They are a catboy.
Don't say it's April 26th and they're still on Don't Say Gay Bill, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's old news.
That's all they talk about. Oh my goodness.
Oh, furry? Oh.
Wait,
You're not that lucky.
Is that just a bobcat? What?
That looks like one of those medieval paintings of cats where they don't quite know what cats look like.
Look, it's
Wait,
a liberal meme.
scroll down. Look at the paws. Why are the paws so detailed?
Uh-oh.
We don't
The
want to know
artist
the
barely
answer.
disguised
There are
fetish?
some questions. There are some questions to which we don't want the answers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I noticed that they are adults now.
Oh, that's
Oh no.
or potentially.
Oh wait, no, still
Nope.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Art
I noticed.
styles-
You know what's weird? They seem to not be using reference drawings anymore.
Hmm.
I wonder what they were referencing when they were drawing their characters originally.
Well, I think it's time to pull this out. So, for those not in the know, Sophie Labelle has run into some trouble here and there. So
Just a
the
little bit
hair,
of
just a little
trouble.
bit of trouble. So Sophie, as an artist, had a secret account where they had a lot of fetish art, and someone found this account and figured out it was hers, and found this picture of a furry diaper creature
Oh boy.
coming into a pool, and they found it was traced from a real life photo of a baby climbing into a pool. Yeah, so that
Wow.
happened, and then they dropped this bombshell. So I'm gonna read this for us here.
You're gonna
Who
use the
knew
word.
I would end up coming out again at 32? People have been correctly clocking me for as long as I've been in public eye anyway, but I figured I should make it official. It's not really a big deal in itself, and in my opinion, is none of anyone's business but mine, but I started getting harassed because of it recently, and I'm done being anxious and getting outed publicly. And anyway, it's 2021, and I think our society is kinder to these kinds of things. Most people around me know that I've been involved in little communities for a very long time. Littleness and little space are mindsets in which adults regress to carefree and responsibility-free safety. For some people, it can be sexual, or not. But in my case, being a little is mostly about relaxation and self-expression. It means I dress colorfully, no shit, and still play with dolls and build Legos. It also means I have a babyish side that likes being cared for, but that's a very private side of it that I'm not willing to discuss here.
Whoa, okay. Whoa. That's a bit much.
Thank you for stopping there.
Yep, so this person likes to fantasize about being a little child.
Scroll a little further down. Let's see what the gist of this is. If there's any other juicy parts, or did you want to read the whole thing?
In the past, many trans people's lives, especially trans women's, have been broken after being outed as littles.
Woo.
Which is why I chose early on to avoid mentioning it. I think it's easy to see why many people in the trans community feel the need to find ways to connect with their inner child to heal from trauma, and that aspect is definitely important to me. I'm taking a huge risk by deciding to go public about it, in a bid to grow awareness and break down stigma. This doesn't mean I'll be talking about that stuff on this page. I just wanted a moment to be vulnerable and take away power from my haters. I'm bracing for a backlash, but I do hope it won't affect your enthusiasm and your appreciation for my art, my work, and my words. Apparently,
to be fair,
this is
you know
a
what?
Trend, huh?
I put forth the hypothesis in our Disney video with the Disney gay
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of gay men like Disney and stuff because they're trying to kind of redo their childhood a bit.
Yeah, reclaim a childhood they never had.
Although I don't think that they're going as far as to like put on a diaper and like act like a baby. And stuff.
Some of them do.
Everybody's got a little bit.
Gay men in diapers. Don't go there.
Not go there.
Terrible.
Dan will freak out. On the
I will
podcast.
freak out.
Is this the Harry Potter to diapers pipeline?
So that's assigned mail, everybody.
A barrel of laughs.
Whoa, how do you rate that comic?
10 out of 10.
I'm considering suicide again.
Well, don't commit suicide yet, because we have another comic to look at.
Oh boy.
Oh joy.
Oh joy, indeed. We're taking a look at just, I think, maybe a couple. Not very many of these. Most of them are inappropriate. So, here's this other comic, another famous LGBT-ish comic called Oh Joy Sex Toy. And there are a couple of really interesting comics. Usually what they'll do is they'll have like these guest comics where people will come in and feature their story.
Yeah, it's not the worst. I mean, it's not the worst sex comic in the world. Like, it's all about like sex toy reviews and stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of lame, but it's okay. It's not like that.
It's not like there's like weird comics like this that we're gonna look at.
Boy.
So this is called Headcanons by Jay Pollock. I was a nerdy kid in the early aughts when cartoons were only ever about the adventures of heroes who looked nothing like me. It was in my imagination that I'd find representation. Before I knew how to make original content, I would mold and alter what was already out there. What if I made them more like me? I was making headcanons before I ever knew there was a word for it. What if Sailor Moon wasn't skinny? What if Misty was even more of a tomboy? What if Goku wasn't in love with Chi-Chi? What if Naruto and Sasuke were in love? Oh.
You want real answers to those questions?
There were so many
Save it
possibilities.
to the rest.
I was unstoppable. What if these boys kissed? What if those boys kissed? I didn't realize I was gay back then, even though all the characters I shipped were gay. In my imagination, I'd safely explore these new and queer thoughts. My hidden desires exposing themselves to me little by little. These headcanons became a proxy for me, talking to my friends about the characters instead of myself. So what if Sora liked Riku? You know, is more than just a friend. What if
Are you a homosexual?
Okay, this is a girl, I'm pretty sure.
Ah.
It's not just a super mullet.
I believe...
Girl or trucker.
Wait, scroll
you-
up. What's the name?
Well,
J
okay.
J-E-Y.
It might be a trans name, so let's... I think more will be uncovered.
Yeah,
I pulled up
probably.
the Twitter, 30-something non-binary comic artist.
Ah, to be expected.
Then
Not
college
surprising.
happened. Oh no. Anime, manga, comics, it was all frowned upon. I had to
It
make a
should be.
decision. My portfolio, my future depended on it. They banned anime. That's based.
Yes, no anime in your portfolio. Take that DeviantArt shit and throw it in the garbage.
My Sonic OCs!
No, they specifically
I
said
saw
please
it.
don't steal.
Donuts, yeah.
Donut steal.
It was drilled into me pretty quickly that if you wanted to be a good artist, trademark, you couldn't be drawing things like headcanons and cute anime boys kissing.
That's correct.
The embarrassment and expectations pushed me to shift gears, and I abandoned what I loved. I went through all of college like that. A professional who liked professional things for a while, then suppressed sexuality. It took a few years before I came back to that nerdy side of myself. After being introduced to a new site called Tumblr.
Hey.
Hey. I stumbled onto someone else's headcanon, and it
Dad.
changed everything for me. The gender fluid kid down the block who goes by Finn some days and Fiona others. Hashtag headcanon, hashtag G, hashtag gender fluid.
Hashtag G.
I think that was just a word cut off.
No, it's just hashtag G. It's the letter
Hashtag
G
G.
for no reason.
Like, yo, G.
I can do that? I'm allowed to be both? That one specific headcanon opened up a whole new way of being for me that I'd never heard of before. Google. Define gender fluid.
You know, we used to have a perfectly good word for the concept. It's called androgynous.
Gender fluid. A person who does not identify themselves as having a fixed gender.
What type of pocket monster is gender fluid? Is that a water
It's what
pipe?
comes out of the pee.
We'll find out.
That's very unfortunate.
I dove down the rabbit hole headfirst and made discovery after discovery about myself. I tried out new styles. Bow ties are cool. Goodbye dresses. And new names for myself. I could be Julian? Or Emery? No, I want to have a J name.
Why would you name yourself Emery? Why the fuck would you give yourself
Look,
a nerdy fucking name?
Everyone knows- look,
that.
here's the thing. Non-binary names are always retarded.
Yeah, they are for like the most.
They're always
They're-
like the dumbest.
Like Santrix?
Yes.
It's just all
he was
terrible.
like it's Sandrekis.
I mean, and a lot of trans names ends up being pretty bad, but non-binary ones are especially just cringy. I ended up coming out because of that one headcanon and the others that followed it. I know who and what I am. I'm Jay. I'm non-binary, and everything finally makes sense now. Woo! I like to think about weird sex with boys. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, there's some boobies.
there's a
it's a male character. He's just got tits.
Oh yeah, it's like a hairy chest.
What is that one draw? Is that
just hairy.
is that
boobs.
Jigen from Lupin the Third?
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to
It's-
say it's really out of shape, Jigen. He's got
No,
man
it's,
boobies.
why does he have gynecomastia? That's just
Because what if
what
if he was a trans man?
That's why he steals all those artifacts to afford his breast reduction surgery.
Yeah, think about it.
It makes perfect sense.
I've come
This
back
is-
to headcanons full
Excuse me,
swing,
while you
reading,
cut on my
sharing,
eye.
and drawing them, all of it. I can be a professional and enjoy nerdy headcanons and ships. It's something that helped
Oh,
me.
boy.
Oh boy, okay. We're gonna cover that one up. It's something that helped me through some of my really formative years, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. My favorites are still the gay ones. I'm sure little me would be proud. I found myself in headcanons.
Yowie, not
Speaking
even
of
once.
Younger,
Yeah,
I was
we
like,
not even once.
there are-
The drug.
now.
It's true, Danimal. Naruto
So-
did ruin a generation.
I
You
know.
can also
Didn't I
read
call it?
Jay's story about binders,
Oh.
Oh,
top surgery,
oh
Uh-huh.
Jesus, they got their tits cut off.
yeah,
And a sexy one.
Yeah, long haul leisure time. Wait,
Click on it. Let's see.
we're just gonna-
No, it's gonna be it's gonna be sex.
I know.
Oh, no,
I'm
it's
cutting
gonna
this
be-
out. It's a
Oh boy.
Gravity
Subgravity
Oh
star.
no.
Oh, that's a furry. I see a furry.
oh.
oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's the
Yeah.
thing.
Oh whoa.
Ah.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Oh dear.
I have some of
Whoa,
those.
schlorp,
Brandon
schlorp,
shit.
schlorp, sucker, shucka, shucka. The sound effect. Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh my.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a oh.
we're scrolling through
That's-
fast.
You gotta put it
There
on.
you go.
You're gonna keep it on the thick edge like that, man?
Mm,
Must be a hoe.
wow.
Where did you get all those? Where did you
Well,
get
of
all
course.
those-
Have you seen how many fucking toys there are?
Where did you get all those
That's well
pictures of
used.
They have a
Gemini?
library. They have a fucking library. All right.
Well, that was interesting.
So
Yes. So-
I have a couple of things to say about this particular comic. So this person, the narrator, was born. Is born a female Homo sapiens sapiens.
Mhm.
So for all intents and purposes, like 10, 20 years ago, this person would have just been a lesbian. And in fact, several prominent boys love mangaka were lesbian, actually, because they were writing essentially shoujo manga for, women, or rather josei manga, I guess. Is there any more mature subject matter? Josei is women, shoujo is girl, but 20 years ago, this person would have just been a lesbian. And there would be nothing wrong with that, because there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian or a gay man or a bisexual person. There is absolutely, I can't believe I have to say this in current year plus 7. There is nothing at all objectionable or wrong about being attracted to somebody of the same sex. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that
Yeah.
in any capacity. I can't believe I have to say that in 2022, but here we are. We've gone so full circle with drifting away from people who think being gay was a choice that could be electrocuted out of you, to people who think that it is in fact a choice, and you need to consume fan art and develop essentially a sort of narcissistic disorder to fully realize that. It's absurd. It's astonishing. And I guess that I've gotten desensitized to this because this is what we cover on this podcast. But every episode, every installment manages to just chip away a little bit deeper at my faith in humanity, and my faith in people that I would have considered perfectly normal when I was 10 years ago. It's astonishing, genuinely astonishing. Like,
It's also that whole thing of like, if you don't fit, very specific socially prescribed gender roles, then you're actually not a man or a woman. You're actually, you might be
exactly.
non-binary.
It's no different from I don't know, a parent in the 1950s being concerned about his, his sissy Mary of a son,
And that
And
son
then-
grew up to
or-
be Paul Lind.
I just realized a
This-
couple of these characters have binders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why is
And a
Miss
couple of the
Frizzle from
males
Magic
have
School Bus there?
boobs.
I see Miss
Oh.
Frizzle. Is that
Yeah.
Ganondorf with boobs?
Yeah, Ganondorf with boobs.
There's Ash with Gary, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bros being bros. It's fine.
Yeah, just bros being bros.
Yeah.
And then Lupin the Third with
Mhm.
Gynecomastia. Or
No,
whatever
that's
the character's name
that's
is.
Jigen, not Lupin.
Yeah,
I just know it
it's
in
a thing.
passing because I don't watch anime. Fuck that shit.
Right.
Based,
Yeah.
based animal.
Yeah, I just had to admire this art again.
Ah,
It's very hot.
I see.
Boys kissing.
I honestly don't. The art isn't bad.
No. He's fine.
The way this person draws, it's got the same aesthetic and sort of style characteristics you expect from anything you find on this website or any like Tumblr webcomic. The round chibi-esque expressions. The very obviously it's just like weeb shit, or as they say in Japanese, weeb shito. But yeah, it's such a this whole thing is such a strange clusterfuck of bizarre and frankly absurd and restrictive, because this is just a bunch of restrictions being placed on people, being placed on gay and bisexual people. I think saying that you have to, you cannot functionally be a man or a woman who just happens to be homosexual or
I think
bisexual.
it's
You have to be.
interesting that this person said they didn't realize they were gay yet. But then they were fluid.
It's like they view like being gay as like exotic and like taboo and tantalizing.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
Here's the other thing that I noticed. They're like, oh, I didn't realize I was gay back then, even though all the characters I shipped were gay. And look, there's 2 girls. So you got 2 girls and 2 boys. So as if being both gay, does this person think they're both
not a
lesbian
gender,
and
but
Well,
a gay man?
well, I can identify what kind of person this is. This is what they call a fujoshi.
Yes.
And it's fucking
Exactly.
cringe.
And I would love to do a video on fujoshi at some point. That is a psychology profile I really want to figure out.
Yeah, I remember when I was
Fujoshi?
Well, the male term is
Really
the male
into gay
equivalent
stuff?
is technically the male equivalent is fudanshi.
Oh.
You're a rotten guy?
A rotten man or a rotten lord.
So for those who don't know what a fujoshi is, it's called rotten girl in Japanese.
Degenerate.
And it basically, it just means a degenerate who sits around reading gay porn all day.
Yeah.
Boys
Or
kissing.
Looking at you, Kav.
Hey, I only do that 8 hours a day.
The only gay boys
Very
that she likes
conservative.
are here. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And I definitely don't write fanfiction of all of you kissing.
Oh my!
what did you just
It's
say to
only
me?
getting pregnant.
What the
Wow.
All
what
getting pregnant.
what did you just say to me? What did you just say?
Well, do we have another comic in the pipe?
Yeah, we have one more. And this one is called Not Feeling Queer Enough.
Oh,
By Hannah.
We're gonna have a lot to say about this one.
possibly.
Alright, I'm gonna put this up to somebody else.
Oh, I can
Oh.
read if you want.
You wanna read? Alright, Danimal, you have a good voice. A good lesbian voice? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Hannah shares her. Blah.
Shares whores, yeah.
Whores. Hannah shares whores. Hannah shares her story about finding community and connecting with queerness. Growing
the power
up,
of whores.
the power of whores. Growing up, I felt like I could never be honest with myself. I had to be straight to fit in. My world was small, and queerness was always seen in my peers as negative. In spite of that, I found myself looking on toward my queer classmates with a strange longing. At the time, I didn't understand why, and it scared me. There was this bright aura around them, an honest happiness I'd never experienced. They bonded through a shared experience, a community that helped lift each other up.
That flag is so cursed.
Yeah, it super is, isn't it? I didn't have that. I had cultivated a life around what I thought others wanted me to be.
My life was a laundry list, and queerness was not on the itinerary. As I grew up and settled into adulthood, starting college, dropping out, starting college again, getting my first job, I made a lot of new friends. And it just so happened that many of them were part of the LGBTQIA plus community.
It just reminded me of the Flash Gordon theme, where it's like, Savior of the universe!
LGBT plus. So another one where they're kind of like wanting to be in on the club. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Huh? Anyway, I never had friends to feel so open with before. Their confidence was beautiful, and it made me want to strive to have that honesty and trust in myself. But just as I was beginning to open up and question my sexuality, self-doubt reared its ugly head.
You're faking it.
You're not good enough.
Loser! You're a loser!
Tenny.
You don't deserve penis.
I don't deserve
penis, yes.
You don't
Don't
deserve
penis, the animal.
You don't deserve happiness, you sad piece of shit.
I was afraid of breaking out of my shell, and even more afraid that I might be making it all up.
I mean, when you look like a turtle, breaking out of your shell might be a valid concern.
I can't believe I would ever think that I was making something like queerness up.
It's
outside the realm of possibility.
the way that this person's self-insert is drawn, it looks like you should be talking like this. My exploration into queerness was a long journey through my own anxiety and self-doubt.
I can't eat corn on the cob from the time I was 13 to 17 because of my braces.
My mom says I had to wear this for my scoliosis.
My exploration into queerness was a long journey through my own anxiety and self-doubt. I felt like I was infringing on an exclusive club. Because you were, bitch! No. My guilt over pushing down any queer thoughts made it hard for me to come to terms with myself. And I didn't think I was queer enough to be queer. You never really get over that feeling. It's something I still struggle with today. But exploration is an important part of growing up and learning who you really are.
Well, it seems like if you substituted the word queer with narcissistic, that might make a lot more sense. Like, because a lot of these, look at the illustrations of the people that she's surrounding herself with. They're very gaudily dressed. They dye their hair. They wear.
These are the
extroverted
people
clothing.
that Rusty draws.
Freaks! Just say freaks! That's what you
I
want
was
to say
gonna
is freaks!
I was going to say narcissists, but yeah, hippies too.
No, I mean it's kind of showing the hand that I think queerness might just be an aesthetic, guys.
Oh boy.
No.
What? I know what?
Aesthetics aren't real. It's just a myth.
All right. For me, my community of friends is what helped me realize queerness wasn't some kind of test you had to pass to be considered queer. Well, you got to be gay. I mean, this, right?
That is.
I think that's a pretty hard line test, right? You got to be bi or gay.
Demisexual or
Oh yeah, I guess so.
asexual.
Yeah, or you could be
That's
normal.
what the plus is for.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well,
My friends came from all different backgrounds, and their journeys and stories were unique to them. They didn't become the confident people I saw them as overnight.
Yeah, because other people impressed that upon them.
That's correct. They struggled with their identity, questioned their self-worth, looked longingly at other queers from a distance in a dark alley while jerking off, felt lost and confused.
Helping you jump off cliffs.
I'm considering.
Cliff cells seething over jump chads.
It was an eye-opening experience to realize that queerness comes in all shapes and sizes, and my journey was just as valid as anyone else's. With my friends' help, I was able to break out of my shell and began to build up a more confident and honest me.
Hopefully a better drawn me, too.
Well, let's not hold out hope against hope here. I can now say with pride that I'm a lesbian and a member of the LGBTQIA plus community.
Okay.
Get that clip of Danimal saying that.
Can we-
LGBTQIA plus.
I'm a lesbian.
Oh, I'm a lesbian.
I'm a lesbian.
I'm dumb. She's a lesbian.
You know, it's really
Dun, dun,
convenient that if you just
Wow.
hang around people enough and want to belong to them enough and really, really, really struggle and wrestle with it for a long time, you can find out you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
I'd also
That
like
easy,
to
guys.
say, I'm
You
sorry.
don't even have to have sex with another woman to test that theory.
Yeah, you don't even need to be sexually attracted to a woman.
Huh.
It's just, it's you know, queerness comes in many shapes and sizes.
Well, I mean, are you sexually attracted to a woman, Animal?
No.
See,
But-
you're not part.
You're not really
But-
queer.
The thing is, we do need to expand the definition of lesbian.
Yeah,
that's
to include you.
To include me
That
specifically.
activates my almonds. I wonder.
Wait, what about your husband? Does it get your husband to
He'll be fine, whatever.
Okay. Just you.
Okay.
Danimal, do you have the emergency supply of Birkenstocks and
Search-
Winona
oh,
Ryder
search
CDs?
Disney. Is there any
I already got a bunch of softball bruises.
Are there any Disney comics? I was trying to find if there are any.
Disney. Queerness of
Queens
the
of the
Queen-
Pole.
Oh, Queens
Oh
of the Pole.
no!
Oh, I think.
Oh,
this
boy.
is-
Oh,
Wow,
oh.
pole dancing.
This one might not be dirty.
Why?
It's just
See if there's gonna be any
dancing.
nudity. Gonna be there. We're gonna see a vagina. If we see a vagina, I'm gonna throw up.
By the way, I think
We're close.
if I wanted
Oh,
to
that's
be
fair.
attracted
These
to women,
there's-
I think the
Those
last
Those are the
few-
twirly
boy.
things.
Booby tap.
Oh,
Oh,
No.
I
I
can't
want to
think of
see. I think I'm done. I'm done.
You know what?
We should-
We should read the cuckold one. Read the cuckold one.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
the
No.
cuckold.
That's
Oh
not
my
for
God.
everyone.
I
That's
mean, we
for-
could, but it's gonna need to be cut. It's got lots of penis in it.
Coloring. Tailwave mersuits. Oh.
Oh boy!
Wait a
Oh,
second.
boy.
A lot of these aren't
Ball
by
busting by
Erica?
sickly hypnos.
Oh, is it
Ball
broken?
bust.
Mercifully.
broken.
Refresh,
Oh, no.
refresh, refresh, quickly.
Refresh.
No, no. Man, the dark times, the
Hey,
dark
Not
times.
today.
Or 3
It's
forbidden.
forbidden. It is forbidden.
I think
Alright,
I looked
ball
at it before it was working. Oh, we got Bad Dragon.
Oh,
Puppy
no.
Play.
Cock
oh,
sheath.
No.
No, not
Oh
puppy.
no.
The actual puppy. No.
Oh no!
Oh no! No.
I will
no.
volunteer to read this.
I know we're not reading this.
We can't,
Let's
we
see if
can't
there's any
read this.
Yes,
We
I
are
can.
not reading this.
Okay, we gotta wrap this episode up.
Yeah, we do. It is,
Oh God, no!
Why? Stop! Oh my God!
it's them. It's them. Okay, I won't read you.
Man, like this seems. We need to find one so I can read it in my Carlos Maza voice.
Oh no. You know what
I-
I've noticed? Like whenever somebody's talking about like any community, like this isn't even specific to like LGBT stuff. This is any community. They're always talking about how like welcoming it is. Like whether it's like a a new job or like a cult. Like everybody starts off. Everybody was so nice and welcoming.
And you realize that that's a problem.
That's entirely a facade.
I did want to comment that one problem I had with the previous one that we read is that that all of our friends were non-binary and had mental problems. Like it's not a good thing. You should get a more stable and healthy and supportive friend group, and it's not good to surround yourself with people who need help.
Okay, well that's my cue to leave then. Jesus.
Hey,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Disgusting people,
See you.
all of you.
you're the best to me.
Bye bye.
Anyway, there we go. Those are some gay comics, gay or trans or whatever. More
Yeah, we're so
Yeah.
gay.
Associated
I mean,
with
they were gays in the schoolyard sense.
gay in the
okay.
schoolyard sense, trans in
Yeah.
the
Okay, good,
topic
good,
sense. But what
One
did
of
we
them
learn? Did
was
we-
also
You know,
in the
I think we
schoolyard
learned
sense.
a lot. What did we learn?
I learned that I have a lot more willpower than I initially believed. I managed to do this entire thing without, using my rope.
Congratulations.
Did we really learn anything substantial from this? I don't think so.
well-
I think the only thing we managed to learn is the It was that we plumbed a new depth of human depravity.
No, Tenny, excuse me. I learned that trans kids should never, ever, ever tell adults how they really feel. Don't
Otherwise they'll
talk
get
to
gatekept.
anybody about it. And if you talk to the press, lie. Lie to the press.
I learned if you're a boy, but you're actually a girl, and you have boys' parts, it's actually girls' parts. And you don't need to justify it to anybody. You're just a girl because even though you do girl things, that doesn't make you a girl. But also toys don't make you a girl, but you are a girl.
Well, Kav, if they're girl parts already, why do they need to transition?
Good question. Be quiet. Bigot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't
It's
talk about it.
being
Very
true to
strange.
yourself, which I thought meant you already had girls' parts, and that's why you're true to yourself, but apparently not. I don't know. To know about that. Oh, we didn't get to. There's one comic where they say that there's no such thing as girl brains or boys' brains.
Hey, that's actually kind of true.
It's true, but also very confusing because then how does any of this work?
Because girls
Just
don't
shut
have
up about
brains.
Yeah,
I guess just
girls
be
don't
quiet.
have brains. That's all you need to do to find out if you're really a girl. They scan and they find no brain.
Yeah, just
Oh.
blow your
there's
fucking
yes.
head
here.
off.
Oh.
It was so simple. It was in front of us all along. This is so bad for like actual transgender people, right? Like they gotta fucking hate this
It's
shit.
terrible
I know for a fact.
representation.
There's
Oh,
one where
I-
they talk about peeing through their clitoris.
Oh,
Ah.
Okay, that's a good one. Here.
You guys do that?
I thought girls pee out their butts.
Yeah. I have like a
Well,
cloaca.
That was
My
another
big clitoris.
wonderful-
You're what? Why would she do that? I have a clitoris that's really big. So big that it's considered a penis.
Ah.
Is
It's
it big
very
enough
weird.
so you
Oh,
can pee while
okay.
standing? Yeah.
Never heard of that actually.
Is it big enough that you? Sorry, I was trying to do a super deep voice.
Apparently, girls pee through their clitoris, and I did
That's
not know
true.
this. I
Huh.
learned it just now.
Wow, that makes them even more disgusting than before.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'll also like to mention, yes, things that I don't think or I would not want children to become talking about at 11 years old. For 200, Alex.
Think you can see
Oh.
why I like this one.
So you were born from two daddies? That's so cool. I just love how there is a mechanism in nature that produces the succession of generations, and that heterosexuality has nothing to do with it. Oh, and I think you even have a gift for the patriarchy. It's poop.
Ha 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 ha
She's
ha.
gonna
I
take
don't
she's
like
gonna
how
take
she
the
aged
diaper
up
off
and
use
then
it.
I don't like how she's aged up and then her friend there is not. In fact, they went younger.
Oh no.
Do you think she understands how a baby is born, or at least?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure heterosexuality has a lot to do with reproduction.
Yeah,
I'm gonna venture to say do with it.
I don't
I
know.
hazard a guess.
Do you have any studies on that?
Citation needed.
Excuse me, source.
Source.
I mean, you can tell that Sophie is actually a woman trapped in the body of a man by how completely unfunny she is.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
oh, but
You're right. You're so fucking
Hey.
right.
Well,
Wonderful.
this is a wonderful end to another great episode
Yes.
of how many homos do we have today?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
5
4 and a
homos
half.
and a pussy.
You know.
To 4.5.
Well, there's a couple halves here. One,
Well,
so
halvesies,
4
traitors.
homos and a pussy. Yeah, 4 homos, I guess.
We got 2 pussies and
3
Although,
Wow.
Tenny, you're like an 80-20 split, aren't you?
On the advice of my legal counsel, I will decline to answer that.
Ah,
Actually,
nice.
the only one who doesn't have a cat PFP in this thing is just Danimal. So change.
Yeah. And you don't have a cat PFB.
And what do you think is under the crown?
Oh, for Christ's sakes. End this episode. End this fucking episode.
Cat. All right. Well, I think it is time to say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
boys.
boys.
Goodbye and
Bye.
good night.
Check out the channel. Actually, no, I don't know about that. If you want to see some actual good comics, go check out my channel.